Good morning, I'm still Jeremy and I'm here at Shimonoseki Station. A little bit of a rainy day. Good day to begin the very first part of a super epic trip. I'm going from here, the southwestern station in all of Honshū, to the northeasternmost station in all of Honshū. A trip of a few weeks, and it all begins here. Here's my train, 8:51. Okay, I haven't gotten my first train yet of this week's long trip, but I just avoided disaster. I was standing on the platform 4, and a guy came up to me and said, "Are you waiting for a train?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, this isn't the platform. This platform is only for people getting off trains. You want to go over there?" So I came downstairs and he showed me the sign and he was right. Here's my train, 8:51, bound for Iwakuni, track 6. I think I was looking at this thing here that said there are 4 cars in the train. Early morning mistake, and I know better than that, but anyway, I'm glad he came and said something because I would have just missed the train. Amazing. Okay, from now on, for the rest of this trip, for the rest of this month, pay more attention. Okay, this makes more sense. My first train of the day and of the whole trip is a 4-car set built in the 1980s. It was painted yellow, like a lot of local trains in this area, in 2010. Okay, here it is, first local train. I'll be on this train for about 40 minutes to a station called Onoda. And it's kind of an old train, but we got like rows of forward-facing double seats here and not many people, so I got my own seat. This is a luxury for a local train. Here we are, through the cloudy windows. 8:51 a.m. on a Sunday. The trip begins.
The next stop is passengers transferring to the Ube Line, please change trains here.
We're arriving at the first station stop. It's called Hatabu, and this is where I had to make my first choice of the trip yesterday. When I planned today, I can either stay on the Sanyo line closer to the Japan Inland Sea coast, or I can take the Shin line up to the Japan Sea coast. And I'll be on the Japan Sea later in this trip, I'm sure, but I chose to go the more southern route today. This is Shin-Yamaguchi Station, another kind of big one. The route today kind of goes near the Shinkansen lines here and there. And I think this is one of the few places where you could actually, if you wanted to, make a transfer to the Shinkansen. Station, I had another choice. Do I stay on this line or do I branch off on the Mine line? But unfortunately, the Mine line a few years ago, because of flooding, several places were damaged, so they shut the entire line down, but put a replacement bus service instead. And the communities along it wanted to get the line back. JR did not, and they just decided last year, I think, to not bring the line back at all. So the Mine line is gone forever, and it will just be a bus from now on. Just passed under the Shinkansen lines. Maybe you'll see one go by. Still announce it as the Mine line, even though it's actually just a bus. They haven't gotten around to changing the official name yet.
Attention, please. We will soon be making a brief stop at Onoda. Passengers transferring to the Onoda line, please change trains here.
Okay, just got off this train. This train is actually going, its final station is Iwakuni, which is the station I'm going to tonight. It's where my hotel is. So I could just stay on this train and get there fairly easily, but I got off here at Onoda because I want to leave the Sanyo line. There's a little small short line that goes down from here called the Onoda line. So I'm gonna go look at that. My train, here's the Sanyo line. Here's the little Onoda line. Starts here 10:16, so I have about 45 minutes here. Hair salon, motorbikes. And a cool brick road. Meanwhile, I saw on a map a place where my train line that splits off the Onoda line goes over a little river on a little bridge. So trying to see if I can find that and hopefully catch a train going over it. Although trains are pretty infrequent, so I'd have to be lucky. Okay, that is my train. Leaves in 4 minutes. I think that's the one I saw going over the bridge. And I think I will have made it. My single-car electric Onoda line train dates from the early 1980s, part of a very small fleet of cars used to transport packages and other freight. It was converted to a passenger train in 1987, and usually only runs right here in this limited rural area. Okay, so this is the Onoda line, first built in 1915, and there are 9 stations. I'll see all of them. There is actually a little branch line with 2 more stations that goes to the coast, but I won't be going on there. and the whole thing is 11.6 kilometers, and I will be on the train to Ube-Shinkawa, which is actually technically one station further on the next line, and it will be about 29 minutes on this train. This is Ino Station, and this is technically the final station of the Onoda Line. This train is going one more station, but we are actually on a new line, the Ube Line. Alright, I am at Ube-Shinkawa Station on the Ube Line. I'm going to continue, my train doesn't go any farther, but I'm going to continue down the line that way. I believe it's about 45 minutes from now, so another chance to wander around. IC カードで、Onoda Eki でタッチした。Hey, first things first, Ube Line 1132. Nice big cavernous station. Looks like an old Soviet Union station. Kinda. So when I got on this train at Onoda Station, I tapped in with my IC card because there was a place to tap in. Came here and apparently this line does not use IC cards, so I had to give them the card so they could cancel that out and give them the cash for the ride. Anyway, here we are at Ube-Shinkawa Station. I've got a few minutes, it's not raining too bad, so I'm gonna wander around a little bit. Once again, my ignorance lets me down. There's a bunch of stuff around the station, and I saw a vending machine with stuff in it about, I think it's a manga or an anime called Evangelion or something. I don't know. I've seen the name, but I don't really know what it is. I know it's a big thing. So if you're into that stuff, come to Ube-Shinkawa Station. Apparently, it's related to this. Flower shop, and at one time, I don't know if this is still a thing, you could actually buy flowers in a vending machine. I guess not now. Not bad. Stop by 2,000 yen, get some flowers. This is Watanabe Suke-saku, a coal mining owner and entrepreneur from this city, Ube. His developments in various industries in this part of Japan led to the region's prosperity. He died in 1934, and since he disliked public honors himself, it was only 2 years later that this statue was created. I'm not sure who his friend here is. Okay, so the next branch is on the Ube Line all the way to Shin-Yamaguchi Station, and I have to buy a paper ticket because they don't take IC cards.
新幹線は行きだけ新山口から新大阪。
Okay, I got my 510 yen ticket, and let's see, I have to go to another platform. Don't lose the ticket. Okay, there's 10 minutes till my train leaves. While I'm waiting, some facts about the Onoda Line, which I just rode here, and the Ube Line, which I'm continuing. The Onoda Line started in 1914, kind of half for some cement companies for their freight and half for passengers. 1914, it was called the, right next to the speaker, it was called the Onoda Light Railway. And the Ube Line started in 1915, and it was called the Ube Electric Railway, just private railways. And they both became part of the Japanese national, what was JNR in 1943. And in 1947, the tracks were actually joined, like I joined up there. My train on the Ube Line has two cars built in 1981 specifically for lightly used rural passenger routes like this one. Okay, here we go. 40 minutes on this train, and then we'll be at Shin-Yamaguchi, and it'll be lunchtime. Some people want to be buried right next to the train station. Okay, this is Shin-Yamaguchi. There's the Shinkansen line, another transfer to the Shinkansen. Not that I'm doing that. So I got off here, this is the end of the Ube line, and I'm actually going to rejoin the Sanyo line for the next segment. And I have about 40 minutes here, so I need to find some lunch. It's probably going to be a convenience store. Here we are, Sanyo line towards these 106. The only one on the entire schedule with a red square. The 1:06 p.m. train is the only one of the whole schedule that does not run on Mondays. Today's a Sunday, so I'm okay, but for some reason there's one per day that only runs 6 days a week. Okay, I bought an appalling looking sandwich and some potato chips and a waffle for dessert. Back on the the Sanyō line. This is the local going to Iwakuni, which is where I'm going, but I'm not going the whole way. I'm getting off for another reason, another sideline. And I'll be on this train for a little over an hour, about an hour and 10 minutes or something like that. Very large numbers of people here on the platform at Honshū. I think I'm about to lose my special private seat here. Don't know why. Still alone. All these people are waiting for this train, I guess. Going the other direction. So far, I would say what marks this part of the Sanyō line is lots of, especially right here, a lot of big industry. Lots of rust and smoke and smokestacks, that sort of stuff.
Attention, please. We will soon be making a brief stop at Tokuyama. Passengers transferring to the Shinkansen or Gantoku line, please change trains here. Please take your trash home with you.
We're at Tokuyama Station. We've been sitting here for about 10 minutes. I figured this would be happening a lot on this whole trip through Honshū, where the local train has to wait for some faster train to pass by, clear the tracks. Okay, we're off. And I waited 20 minutes idling at this station, Tokuyama, just because I want to go one more station. I'm actually getting off at the next station, Kushigahama. Okay, I'm here at Kushigahama. The train is leaving, and I have nearly 2 hours here, I think, because this train actually goes, it's a long story. I'll tell you about this train and why I could have stayed on it and why I'm not. This is sort of, the next train is sort of the special treat of the day, I think. It's the only diesel train of the day. So that's in about an hour and 45 minutes or something. So what do I do around here for that long? One of those old wooden stations. Probably been here for quite a while like that, at least a few decades. So I could have stayed on the Sanyō line, but I got off to take the Gantoku line. My next train is 15:52. Right now it is 2:20. Wow, there's a spectacle. There's like a little park here, sort of, or a little jungle area. This is nice. Okay, I am back here at Kushigahama. There's about half an hour until my train comes, and I got a donut and some hot coffee in a can. So I'm gonna sit here and have my snack, and I'll explain why the next train is the special treat of today, why it's such an odd story. Okay, so I'm on platform 3 and 4. My train's coming on 4 that way. So the Sanyo line that I've been riding on off and on today, I could have stayed on the train I was on. It goes through this station, Kushigahama, and goes down south, closer to the coast, and goes back up through Iwakuni and then over to Hiroshima. And it's always been that way since the Sanyo line was made, like in the late 1800s, I think, or very early 1900s. It's always been down there to the coast. So in the 1930s, a new cut through the mountains, not by the coast, was made between here and Iwakuni. And that's still how it is. They both branch here and then they meet up at the same place, so you can take either one. So those tracks over there for that platform, they go off that way over there towards the coast. Mine goes off this way, and they come from that way. This one and this one are both the Gantoku line. The Gantoku line splits off that way, goes through the mountains. So what happens was in the 30s, that was a cut through. It seemed easier, it seemed faster, and so the Sanyo line changed to that. The coastal part was still there, but it became a separate line called the Yanai line. And then they realized, well, this doesn't make a lot of sense. We want to, in the 1940s, we want to double track this because it's a big main, this is the main trunk railway for this part of Japan. So they said, well, we can't double track the one that goes through the mountains because see, here's a freight train. Freight trains use not the one I'm going on, they use this other one over here, the Sanyo line. So they said, well, we can't develop the one through the mountains. So the Yanai line, which had been the Sanyo line in 1944, became the Sanyo line again, and they kept the one through the mountains, but they called it the Gantoku line because of the starting and end points. So they kept it. It's a diesel train. It doesn't run very often compared to other trains. At this time of day, it's only once every couple hours. That's why I've been hanging around waiting for it. But it is a rare chance to see a train line that most people don't ride unless they live on the line itself, in the mountains. So it took a little bit of finagling with the schedule to ride this train, but I'm going to be riding the Gantoku line soon, and it goes to Iwakuni, same as the other trains, and that's where I'm stopping today, Iwakuni. Interestingly enough, this sign says change for the Yanai line. It's not even called that anymore, but I guess maybe locally it's still called that, or still kind of got its nickname, the Yanai line. It's just the Sanyo line now, but old habits die hard. This diesel train in the classic J&R orange dates from the late 70s. I'm not sure, but I bet it just powers itself through the mountains back and forth along the Gantoku line exclusively, every day. Okay, we're on the diesel train, heading into the mountains. Just before I stepped onto the train on the platform, I checked my GPS route finder. I said, if I want to go from here to Iwakuni, what's the next best train? And it didn't say this one. It said wait for one on the Sanyo line. So apparently, this is no longer the fastest in any way. They're both local only, but hey. Okay, the diesel train roars to life. We're leaving this station, and I think this is a typical platform for this line, the Gantoku line. Look how long the line, the station is. Look how long the platform is. It's blocked off here, but it still continues way down here, all the way to there, and still here a little bit. So they're all like that because this used to be the Sanyo line back in the 30s and 40s. So they needed to be able to accommodate much longer trains. And now all the trains, I think, are just 2 cars. So all the platforms are really long and they're all fenced off at one end. There's these little buttons on the wall. There's a few of them down here. I think they control the fans on the ceiling. Fan commander. Other line that just joined us, that's actually a private railway, not related to JR, but it starts in Iwakuni and JR lets it use this bit of the tracks before it splits off over there. So JR and the private railway kind of share this section. Okay, I'm here at Iwakuni, which is a big city, and I'm going to stay here for a little bit, 2 or 3 nights, and there's the train I just got off. Very fun day, a good day 1 of this big long trip. Let's review the checklist today. Abandoned bicycle, interesting statue or figurine, motor scooter, obachan with cart, notable bird, cartoon drawing on sign, graffiti, hair salon, tree cut into circles, car elevator, and beer vending machine. Okay, so the next video is going to be looking around Iwakuni, and after that, back on some trains to go, I don't even know where yet, I gotta research that. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. You can follow this series in more detail at patreon.com/T1DWanderer. Special thanks this week in random order to John Pfeiffer, Russell Davis, Samantha, Will Phillips, Ray Nichols, David Richley, Matt Kane, and Thomas G. Ritchie. And thanks for wandering around Honshū with me. Everywhere is worth exploring.